Hi everyone, welcome back to ITOM batch 3, day 36. How are you doing guys today?
Good,
Good.
Ajay.
And you?
Good. Yeah. Okay. I think, okay. So before proceeding to the next things, any questions to the topics which we have covered till now related to the event management, like event management integration method? We discussed about events and event rule, implementation on high level plan of the event management. Any questions from that? Anyone? Okay, if no, I think let's proceed. So let me know once my screen is visible to you guys. Let me see. Yeah, instance is up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, instance is going to be up. Let me see. So let's go with that second lab, which is, helping us to understand how basically, event management issues or, event management alerts basically showcasing on the service maps or my services and how it's going to be help me to understand the impact basically, right? So but what we have to going to do here, we have to going to be you know uh, checking or enabling the services in the service operation workspace. And this particular lab which is here, it's something related to the service operation workspace, related to the application services, or related to the CI, dynamic CI grouping and other things, right? So how it's going to be showcased on the service operation workspace, and then then we'll move to the next things basically. So how application services can be created, right? So we're going to be discuss about that. So let me see if my instance is up. Yeah, it's still going on. So the first thing comes in the mind, what is application service, right? Till the time my instance is going to be up, application service is again a graphical representation of my infrastructure component for particular application. And then application service we also called service mapping, right? So if you remember, so in service mapping we have couple of things, like one, we have automated service maps which we called application services. Second, we have tag based service mapping, which we are mostly going to be create for cloud resources, cloud components. Third, we have manual service maps. Manual service map is nothing but if customer don't have or not providing the correct access to us, and we are just creating the manual CIs from one CI to the another CI. That is manual service maps, right? And then for fourth is dynamic CI groups, right? Dynamic CI group is again nothing but it just I can simple words if I say grouping of the CIs based on the CMDB group and connecting to that particular to a dynamic CI grouping mapping, dynamic CI group mapping, and that dynamic CI group mapping we also called technical service, right? So in simple words, say we have what I mentioned: automated service maps, manual service maps, dynamic CI group mapping, and the manual service maps. And in the top of it, we have a business service. Business service is nothing but a top business service which is connecting to those particular component. Now, let me tell you one example here: onboarding to offboarding, right? In any organizations, HR have a service which is onboarding to offboarding, but that onboarding to offboarding a business service which can consist of multiple application services, multiple tag-based services, or multiple technical services, right? So now let me tell you a little bit let me tell you a little bit on inside of it, right? How in onboarding to offboarding, what will be the process basically? Once we are onboarding one resource, we are going to be shortlist the resume, right? Then we are going to be schedule the interviews, Then if we are going to be store the recording of the interviews as well. Once that is done, if interview is done and finalized, then we are also upload asking to upload their some documents on some portals, and based on that we are releasing the offer letter. And then we are, once offer letter release, that particular person is joined, then we are aligning with their teams and procuring some hardware for him or her. And then once that is done, then the onboarding will be start. And once onboarding is done, we are going to be aligned with that, create email id, create pf account, creating some salary account and all, right. And then the next service comes related to in this particular business service is the HR management or HR related queries and all, right. And then if particular person is going to be left the organization, then I can say one more thing will be like portal where he going to be resigned in, right. And then exit policies and other things, right. So now whatever the points I mentioned related to onboarding to offboarding, one of the application or multiple application is going to be supported. Might be for resume shortlisting they are using Naukri or Indeed or some other, or some portal inside of their organization, right. Second thing, as I mentioned, once a resume shortlisted interview. So I hope you already seen couple of times, whenever your interview is scheduled, automatic email will be generating from their side instead of they are manually sending an email to you, right. So sometimes that will happen with the enterprise applications as well. So they just need to be put their details in that particular one. Automatically one email id or meeting id will be generated and one email triggered to you. Your first round of interview has been scheduled like this, right. Then once you done it, then they will ask you to upload some document on some portal, right. So these are the different component of a business service. So that's my business service, onboarding to offboarding. Now the different component which I just mentioned, that can be an application service, tag based service, or a technical service. Now how it can be an application tag based and all. So if it is that infra is belongs to my on-prem solution, and if that application belongs to an on-prem and we are creating a logical architecture diagram for that, that is an application service. We are representing the all things like how application is working. If that is impacting, means might be onboarding will be impacting, right. End of the day, the same way tag based service mapping, if any application which is running on the cloud, right, related to that salary processing and other things, right, that can be under comes in tag based service mapping. And if complete if any person or any technical user who want to have a view about their all CIS which is belongs to onboarding to offboarding business service, when we are going to be create a custom CMDB groups and other things, right. So then can be a technical service. So simple thing is different component can consist a single business service which is going to be serve the business, which is my onboarding to offboarding. I just give an example like that, right. So I hope that's clear to you guys now. So let's start to process to updating the application service display in the service operation workspace. So let's start that particular one. Any questions in that? First of all,
Ajay, is this part of event management or like it is a part of service mapping you're saying? I didn't get you exactly
now
because I missed a lot of sessions, right?
agreed, Mastan. So basically, you know event management and the service mapping clubbed together little bit. How and basically why? you know Event management is giving you the input or the visualization about your infrastructure health, okay. And the service mapping is the component through which you are able to showcase that infrastructure health. That is the simple thing, right. So if one event is generated on any CIA, that will be visualized through an application service or business service or technical service or anything, right. So then you are able to understand like where is the impact, what is the impact, and what is the root cause behind that. So that are clubbed together. But what I just mentioned about that normal things like application service, business service and all that are part of event management as well. But if basically that part of event management, but if we are configuring the inside things like configuring the map, configuring the technical service, configuring the business service, that comes under the service mapping. Okay,
Okay, Ajay.
correlated to
Okay.
each other.
And did service mapping has been already covered or like going forward it will going to covered, Ajay?
Going to be covered, in coming sessions basically.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Actually, I'm just going through all your sessions and try to finish it by today or tomorrow. I'll get back to you, Ajay.
Sure, sure.
Sorry for that because due to loss of my grandmother and then I wasn't in any situation.
I understand. Yeah, I understand. No issues, Mustan. Definitely, you can go through it and let me know if you have any questions.
Sure, sure, Ajay. And one more question, Ajay, here in event management. Actually, I worked on event management as well. Like, currently working with the Dynatrace application. Whenever a particular node has been done from there, and then event has been created, and event rules has been created, and then alerts to be converted into incident, such kind of work doing. Only it is only for meant for like monitoring tools like those Dynatrace is a third party monitoring tool, right? It's a kind of monitoring tool, and
Yes,
SolarWinds also is a monitoring tool. Only
yes,
event
right.
manager is created for that purpose, or any other also is there?
No, no, no. So
Hmm.
event management have only the one thing to visualize and
Hmm.
the health of your infrastructures, which can be monitored by the third party tools, right? And
Okay.
now the thing is how you are integrating with ServiceNow, as if that we have covered already, like push or pull connectors are there, REST API are there,
Hmm.
in email actions or SNMP traps are there. So then you are integrating with those particular sources with ServiceNow instance. And once that is integrated, then event will be triggered or event will be fired in event table. And once event is fired there, we are, refining that event to convert an actual actionable alert. So we are doing through using the event manage or event rules. Once
Okay.
event is converted to an alert using the event rules, right? So that basically we do.
Yeah, actually, we did a configuration with the service graph connect by using service graph connectors to Dynatrace. And then after that, here in my current organizations, like, completely they are planning to do automatically everything. Like whenever the node has been down from there and that immediate event has created, alert has created, and then incident has need to be created.
Yeah, but
So
that's only
mm,
the use case.
that is a process, but the problem is like, whenever using the service graph connectors and by with the to interact with the Dynatrace, then we are facing some kind of errors. Like, is there any I'll discuss you with that errors tomorrow, Ajay, because I will make a note and then I'll discuss with you tomorrow because it's a better understand for everyone.
Sure, sure,
I'll
definitely.
discuss you. Yeah. Thank you, Ajay.
Okay, no issues. Okay, so I'm here. So what I did, whatever they mentioned, the simple steps basically. They asked me to go to the application servers, go to the web servers, open this particular web and showcase or see the dependency map, right? If I see that particular web server, this particular web server in the top of it connecting to mapped application, basically, if I just click here, and that map application is learn now portal, right? That particular web server is connecting and they are showcasing the see how this particular web server is running on which Windows server. So it's running on this particular Windows server, use the end to end point form and runs on one's application relationships basically, right? So they mention this one and then what they are saying, go to the event management service application services. Now let me go to this and simply I can type application service under the service. So, and now see application service here as well in event management part and application service here as well under the service mapping. But there is no difference between those tables, right? If you see the table name is SA underscore discovered service here as well and there SA discovered service is there as well, right? And that's, when I open the application service, the name actual is the mapped application service. Why it's mapped application service? Where basically, as I mentioned, there are two things. One is automated service maps, one is manual service maps. So because it's a automated service maps, that's why it's come as a SA underscore discovered underscore service table, right? So I will put it to all now. This is just one I just open. Let me close this. Okay. So there are three services which is there: Learn Now portal, survey project, and service now event management. And if you see this particular CI we just open, that is connecting to the Learn Now portal. If I open this one, I think that's the same thing they are asking to me to remove the filtration, Learn Now portal, and then update. And what they are trying to update, basically, till the time any service, whatever its application or dynamic CI grouping and whatever, if it is not active, this will not showcase on the service operation workspace. If I go to service operation workspace, and service operation workspace is the single place where you can manage your incidents, alerts, your services.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ajay, just one quick thing, because you mentioned about service mapping and the event management, and over here we are trying to work on the application services. So
Mhm.
this and the module is showing. So it's the same module under two applications, or it is a different? I didn't get you correctly.
It's just the same module,
Mhm.
it's a same module which we have created in two different applications. Like, it's just simple things. If how you want to navigate customers to be open it, right? So like, let's take an example. A incident you have created, right? You are developer, from the backend table you can directly open the incident dot list, right? but and but if customer, there are two type of customers basically. Let me tell you one thing. So one customer is just to create a incident. Whenever it's going to create new incident, he wants to be create P1 or P2 example, right? But another customer or in the same organizations looking for to create a P3 P4 only. So what you do, just to give a shortcut, you can go to the application navigator, create LOB wise incident form specifically. Like this LOB belongs, if it is clicking to create new, it will open the P1 or P2 things. And if this LOB is creating, so that's the same thing happening here. Service now configured, they have created two applications. One is event management, one is service mapping, and end of the day referencing the same tables, which is application service. That's it, nothing else. Okay, so
Okay. Yeah.
right, so now basically what they want to be do, basic as I mentioned, if you see here in applications, there is no applications work as of now, right? So what we have to do, till the time we are not activating this particular application service, it will not showcase there. Once we activated somewhat critical and operational. So guys, just want to mention little things, one thing here as well. This particular part from here, the things will be little clubby in event management and the service mapping. So I'm trying to cover the both things here, and we'll discuss later on the service mapping part again. But just try to understand the things basically, because both event management and service mapping are work together. It doesn't means like if customer have the service mapping but he don't have event management, I think that is not giving to the value add anything to them, right? The same way, if customer have event management but if don't have the service mapping, then again it's not going to be give the value add that much, right? So that's our worked together basically. And if customer have event management and service mapping but customer don't have the discovery or updated CMDB, then again there is no use of the discovery, sorry, service mapping and event management, right? So service now bundle, create a bundle like that way. That's the dependencies to each other. If we are going to do if you are just want to visualize your infrastructures or see that how many CIs are there, that you can go for discovery and CFDB only. But if you are going beyond that for the service mapping and event management, you have to be purchase the bot subscriptions, and then it will give you the more value add or more visualizations about your infrastructure health basically. Okay, so what I did here, I just did the business criticality and operational status, operational updated. What they are saying, once you update, click on the view map, and once you go to the view map, you are able to see that particular things basically here. If I click on the view map, you can see this particular Apache LNV server is part of here. You can see this. Now go to the workspace. Once I go to this particular action, where I already given, go here. Now you can see learn now portal is activated and showcase you. So only once your any service application or whatever business or the technical or dynamic CI grouping and all is activated, then only you are able to see this particular one, and it will showcase based on the severities which you have configured here on the service map or that particular table, right? So if you see that somewhat critical it is and it's not critical, right? And that green and the amber or a red color is showcasing only is if is there any alert is running on it, right? If alert or any incident is running on it, right? So based on that it will showcasing. We will discuss later that well, like in what cases how we can calculate the impact which we want to showcase on the top of the application service or services basically, right? But yeah, now they just showcase like this is there. Then you can add in the favorite, and you can go to the remove the filter of this, again go to the survey project, again they want to be activate this one. So if I go back, here is one option, I think go back to the home where it is. Yeah, here. Oh shit, I not selected the survey project. So they asked me to do it less critical, operational and traffic based. So it's less critical. Let me put to operational. Now, let me tell you what is this traffic based? Again, as I mentioned, service mapping and event management work together. So what is traffic based basically? So whenever you are creating a service map through this application service table, okay, it will create a map basically, and traffic map is just something if you want to utilize the connection from one source to another source or one server to another server, which is happening based on the transaction. What is the simple difference here in traffic based and the non-traffic based discovery is, in traffic based, if let's take an example, a server A is connecting to the B server on any port, on any specific port, and if the machine learning understanding or machine learning learns that particular things, automatically create a connection from A to B using the traffic basically, because the traffic is going to be passed out from A to B. Now that's basically traffic based, but if it is a traffic based is not there or not enabled, in that case that is not going to be check the traffic. You have to be understand the configurations of that A server and then create a connection to the B server using the config file, right? So what is the major difference between traffic based and then without traffic based discovery? Traffic based discoveries give you the whole things, but sometimes that not required customer to populate on the service map site, right? Sometimes that he's not looking, I don't want, because it's a transactions, because the server is doing transactions with multiple things, but that devices which servers is transacting is not part of actual logical representation of that particular service maps, right? So customer wants to see a particular applications or particular servers in their application service, or in simple words, the top to down hierarchy he want to see for specific things only, right? So in that case, we need to be disable the traffic based discovery and just need to be checked with connection, making the connection from A to B using the configuration file path. Okay, so that's there. Now let me update it again. And once I click on the view map, we can see that again, it's also available on this here service operation workspace. It's enabled. Once I activated this one is with green color. Let's click on the view map. So why I'm just going to with these particular things basically, so you can little understand about that, right? Now the second thing what they are doing now, they are want to be generate a event on this particular Apache server, right? So let's generate that event and let's see how that is going to be impact my this particular services, application services on my service operation workspace basically, right? Now so let's close this. I think that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. Let's go to the simulation. So don't be confused, I'm doing through the simulation. Basically simulation is nothing, it just to showcase you how the end of the day once event is generated, how it's going to be impact my services or my infrastructure. It just try to replicate with the actual try to assume the actual event, when actual event is received, how it's going to do that, right? So that basically we are doing here. So that is lab 2.1 event win. Okay, I'm going to do that, this generate event. So now we have, let me, okay, yeah. So it's that's event is generated. If you see, let me open this one. This is generated on this particular CI that is generated. No, I just created yesterday night one event rule, PS script event rule. So that also applied here. But if just simply see generate event, you are redirected to the processed node, processing node, see this particular processing nodes with whatever they are mentioning, right? So if I just go to where it is, yeah, here. So if I go to this processing nodes, node will be resolved by this particular this found by node name. Event CI type is empty. No related CI found for binding alert CI found with this particular one again and bind to this part. So what is this particular processing nodes denoting basically? Sorry. We found this particular node in the hardware table and we found by the name, and that has been mapped basically, right? In simple words, they are trying to showcase this one. So if I go to now alert management and open this particular alert, so this is the CI. Event is created alert is created automatically based on the things. Now you can see here on the impacted services itself, because it's a major alert and based on the major or the impact calculations, it is showcasing a major severity on this particular service maps learn now portal. And the same thing also updated on my service operation workspace immediately, right? So when and this is the end goal basically of the event management in the service mapping, right? So whenever and now it's how it's going to be help out, right? If I click go here, if I click this one, service map is there, I can open it. Meanwhile it's opening. That's the same thing they are asking to do that. Now they are showcasing this one. See, this is my server which we have I just generated an alert, right? 765 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 65 JFQI, right? So this is the alert where we have generated, but this alert, if you see that relationships, this is impacting my this learn now portal. Now, as I mentioned, it it helped me to find out the root cause. End of the day, what we have visualization. See, my learn now portal is impacted with the major severity, right? But if I just dig down it and I am able to understand that is impacted on this particular one, because if I click on this one, go to little bit understanding about the CI topology, I can see, because other component is nothing, there is no alert and nothing incident is running on it, right? If any incident and alert based on that, that will be highlighted here. So these particular things is going to be help me out to finding out the root cause basically. Okay, now if I go to another things, basically here if you see the related items toggles, you can see these particular things. You can see click on the Windows Server CI, you can see the impact path, how that will be impact path will be calculating, right? And then you can record the open, see that particular dependency and other things will be there, right? So it's just nothing, but yeah, basically it's helping you out to how you are going to be navigate to the more things basically, right? Now, and what they are putting here, change task, change prioritization of the item on the service operation workspace, used by the group by order by basically, and change the default setting to the event management service operation workspace. How do you explain the behavior if you are saying, right? So basically it's nothing, but if I go back here, oh, okay, let me go to directly here. It's just nothing. We have, ascending order, descending order, how we want to showcase, how if we want to showcase on the business criticality, or if we want to showcase on the this particular segment of severity, right? So it just showcasing. If we want to put on the severity, you can see the critical severity alert, major alert, and the okay is showcasing in that way. If you want to put descending, you can change this one. Descending is it's like that, right? And if you put this segment by severity, business criticality, you can group it by that, right? The cost and all, right? So it just in simple words, if I say uh, the visualization of the service maps in which proper way or group order you want to showcase, right? Because if there are three only, right? But if you have multiple service maps, right? So how that will be visualized to you, like if criticals are there, you can see it on the first thing. If something is there like related to major alerts, that will be in the second thing. And the survey or green is, if any there is no alert is running, that will be showcased in the green side, right? So it's just a visualization of it, right? Now they are asking me to create a CMDB CI group. Again, as I mentioned, that we have learned in the last time, CMDB groups we have to be create for the CMDB CI. So let's do that one as well. So, and again, don't this just we just configure that about event service maps. This is just a basic things. Don't we think that is a service mapping configuration. This is just a basic things which we did it. Service mapping configurations and creating the service mapping is completely different, right? Now, if I go to dynamic CI grouping. Okay, before moving to the dynamic CI grouping, any questions from anyone?
Hi, Ajay.
Yes, yes.
I have a small confusion. Like, can you go to this table, CMDB CI service discover?
Mm-hmm. Asset discover table, application service table, you're asking, right?
No, not this one.
CMDB.
CMDB CI
Mm-hmm.
underscore service underscore discover.
Okay, service underscore discovered. Right, I got it. What you asking? I know. Basically, there are two tables for application services, right? So this one you are asking, right? So this is CMDB CI service discovered, and there is one more table which I just showcased you earlier. That is SA underscore discovered underscore service. Right now, from where this is again the name of the mapped application service, right? But backend name is the CMDB CI service discovered. It's nothing basically, but as I mentioned to you, right? If I go to the CSDM, that's enabled here, right? If I am going through this particular CSDM side, if I going to this particular one, that's navigating to CSDM app services, right? Again, it's an application, the same table, So it just, don't be confused in that one. It's just the different naming, but end of the day, all are same.
Okay.
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 So if you see, I just opened from the CSDM, you can see the same three component here, but the name is CSDM app service. The small difference, I'm just forgetting about CMDB CIS service discovered and the same SA underscore discovered service. It's just a manual or automatic something, if I'm not wrong, basically. Right.
Oh,
So you can also search on internet or Google what is difference between CMDB CIS service discovered and SA underscore discovered service. It's just a manual or something, some very small difference. That's it. End of the day, basically, that's all same.
okay, I'm not my point. Yeah.
Nothing much, right? Okay, now, and any other questions, or shall we move to next things? Okay, so let's move to the CMDB groups. I open, right. So CMDB groups here, what they are saying, just click on the new set group, my name, my database. Let me copy this. If I go here, click new. I think we have already created the CMDB groups, and now again we are creating the CMDB groups, but how we are going to utilize in the dynamic CI groups, that is the part of again of the service mapping, basically, right? Then we are creating this, going to be this. Let's submit. My databases. They're asking me to put a configuration in that class field, select that this particular table in the CI overview conditions, set lifecycle stage is operational, right? So let's do this here, here. And don't think, guys, I'm just following this particular, PDF or that labs because I just want to simulate each and everything, right? So I don't want to be miss anything related to that. That's why I'm trying to follow. Otherwise, I can go and directly create this CMDB groups here as well, right? So that's not possible. That's not a big deal, basically, right? So what I'm
Ajay, if
doing,
that document has been shared with us,
I think I shared it already, if I'm
oh,
not wrong.
sorry. I
Yeah,
think,
it is in the chat.
okay, fine. I'll check it.
Right, yeah.
Thank you.
And now one more thing, just to, you asked me this particular thing. If I'm not wrong, guys, if you are not associated with any ServiceNow partner company, now you can create your account through the Gmail on the Now Learning portal. And which I heard, means that can be rumor, but I have not validated till now, but which I heard, the ServiceNow couple of courses are free. There is no required to be, start the learning of it, right? So there is no charges they are making, right? So now discovery, I think event
Yes,
management,
yes. I have registered. Yeah, it's free now.
right? So just
Is that
go.
true, guys? Sorry.
So that I heard. So I think that's Shiva is mentioned. It's true. Just go create a Now
We
Learning
got
account
it.
with your Gmail ID and go for these particular things. And you can also do it at your side without the account which is connecting to your partner portal. Earlier, that is facility will available on the partners, and now I think you can do it. And I think it's a big one because after a long time, ServiceNow is providing this particular things as a free. Okay, so go registered for discovery, registered for event management, and register for service mappings, and do that simulation at your side as well. That must required. Okay, so what is the CI lifecycle status? I think it's the lifecycle stage. Yeah, it's operational. Okay, this lifecycle stage is operational. Is use the operational. Okay, let me put the operational. Okay, nothing else, like that we have already created that on the database field, database table, CMDB CI database. They are putting the lifecycle state as operational and then creating a CMDB group, right? So let me do that. Submit. Then what they want to show all CIs, click back on that and just update this one with this particular things, right? So if I just showcase you all the CIs, whatever the CIs belongs to the database table which have the operational status, lifecycle stage is operationals, that will be showcasing here. Okay, you are able to see that now. Let me go back. Let me update. That's done. Now what we have done, we have just created the CMDB groups, not the dynamic CI grouping, right? So when I go here, dynamic CI, dynamic CI, again, see, you are able to see three things: dynamic CI groups under event management, under the service mapping, under the configuration items, but nothing is different, right? If you see, that is going to be open the CMDB CI query based service. Here it's also opening the same thing, or here it's also opening the same thing, but it's just a navigation from the three different tables or three different applications, basically, not tables, right? So what they are asking, go to this, click new, my database. Here I'm going to do, there is no dynamic CIPs, dynamic CI groups are already creating, right? So but they are asking my database, what is the criticality they want to be. Most critical, David Lou operational. Most critical, David Lou and operational. Where it is, yeah, operational. And here we need to be referenced that particular CMDB group which we have just created, right? So we have created my database, where it is, yeah, this one. Let's submit this one. Okay, that's it. So we just created a dynamic CI group mapping, and now this also visualized to the CMDB service operation workspace. If I just refresh this one, oh, it's already there. I just refreshed it. Okay. So if you see, my database is created with now two services which we have. Okay, my database and survey project, right? So that is done. You can see it. So as I mentioned, it's up to me if how we want to be do that. How we are doing group by as of now with the severities, right? If I just do the business criticality, it will showcase like that. One is most critical, one is somewhat critical, another is less critical, and another is, not critical, right? If I just put to business criticality again, it will showcase number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. That's the only difference, basically. So don't be confused with that particular things, right? Again, what we have to do, we have to generate a event on this particular CI, and let's see how that will be behaving and how it will be impacting my dynamic CI grouping, right? So I'm going here. Let's close this. Let's close this. Let's close this again, and let's go to that event simulation. I hope, guys, you are following me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just going to be event generator again here, generating a load sample, lab 2.2, which is database server. Okay, generate event. Now this event is generated on the database. Now it's ready. Let's see how this processed. Yeah, this is processed now. Alert is generated. Again, you see the things is available. Node will be resolved. The CI node found this, right? This alert is generated, it's processed. Now they are just showcasing your configuration item. You can see on the alert side, and then see the operation of my database will be impacted because whatever the alert it is received with the critical severity. And if I come here, you can see my database is impacted now, which is most critical. Okay, so end of the day, the basic things is what they are trying to showcase. Like if any alert is generated automatically, that impact will be showcasing here. If you remember in the start of this one, I think I showcase you something. Yeah, this one. this is the view earlier which we are able to see when the service operation workspace is not introduced by ServiceNow. So this is again the same thing. Here you can see the multiple or lots of services which is showcasing you here, and this is green, amber, yellow is showcasing based on the impact on that particular service. Now service operation workspace is introduced by ServiceNow, so that thing is moved here basically. Okay, so that's only the thing basically which we are doing. So what he's doing is just to what he wants to ask me to do, that just he is asking me to go to this filter service by alert, and asking me to the click and open each alert and close button, that the alert open now. So SOW tab, right? So if I go here, right, alert priority and this, right? Okay, let me see. Now I can open it from here directly. So what he is trying to showcase, and the one thing is everything is available under this particular workspace itself. Now we can do the things. Oh, okay, one moment, let's complete done. Oh, I just click. Okay, here it says, yeah. So if you see, we are able to see there, we can close from here, save. So once we close and save, automatically my impact which is on showcasing there, that will be removed, right? If I come back here, it just take couple of seconds to be sync. Now meanwhile, let's close this one as well. Let's go back. Let's close this one. Okay, it's already closed. Let's close this one. So why I'm closing? Because once alert is closed, automatically my all services comes to the normal. If you see, all is showcasing is green now. And this is all the alerts which is showcasing here, which is open, right? So if I'm just opening and closing, so I can correlate with that. This is also closed. There is one alert which is impacting to ServiceNow event management one, right? So let me close this one as well. Why I'm doing from here? I can do from here as well. One moment. Alert. Oh no, this is not the one. Where is all alerts, right? So we can navigate through the all alert table as well. In the alert itself, we can see here, I can just filter out with the open. So, oh shit, I just put it this one in different way. Let me put to all. Okay, let me showcase the show matching open. You can see there are lots of alerts are open. 8 alerts. Now what I'm doing, I'm just closing the all alerts to close here. I can do it from here itself. Right. So but this is just I'm showcasing you to, you can take that actions from here, but we should not do that in the actual projects. Basically that should be closed based on the event itself, if it is not closing from there, right? So if I just close the all alerts from here, my services are green now, all services. Yeah, so my all services back to the return the same form which is earlier it is, right? So now let's go to the next thing again. So this is again just to showcasing if database is not available, you can navigate there, you can see, just close this one, and once it's closed, it's all is done, right? So that is the second lab is done. Third is and under the second lab is execute a discovery and bind with IP and MAC address, right? So what we are trying to do here, we are going to run a quick discovery using the discovery admin workspace. So someone asked me earlier, Ajay, can you showcase me how discovery admin workspace is doing, right? So let's go to that. And One thing I just want to tell you guys, there is nothing in the workspace basically. That's are the pre-configured dashboard type of things basically, which help me to do everything from a single view. So here, if we are referring the discovery of admin console or discovery, I can say discovery admin workspace or the service operation workspace, there is nothing. Only the thing is we have a single view, and that will mostly used by the service desk teams or that that owners who have a single view where they are able to see the each and everything in on a single space, right? So they no need to be navigate to the different ways or different things basically. We can customize little bit that as well, but the customization is not that much easy as of now because these particular operation workspace are introduced recently, and it will take time to be coming to that maturity level, right? So ServiceNow is continuously working on those particular things basically, right? So what they are asking me to go to here, click on the quick discovery on the right, I add that IP, this one, run discovery and see. So what they have not put it. Enter your Windows Server VM IP address identified in previous lab. Windows Server IP address. Okay, where it is. Let me get that IP. One moment, guys. We have used one Windows Server here, if I'm not wrong. I think this one. Okay, where is IP address? Is this? Okay, IP address is not mentioned here. But no issues, we can find out easily. Let me go here, right? So quick discovery is here. We can go here, just put the IP address. It's just the same action which we are doing from the discovery schedule, right? So it's asking me for Windows Server. Let me go to the Windows, open it, whatever the it's 12 only. I think we use this one, but IP address is not here. I think we need to add our mid server IP address if I'm not wrong. Let me see. The IP is 198.51.13.185. 198.51.13.185. Where I am on, yeah, 198.31.15. What else? 51.13.185. We can select the mid server specific, again cluster or automate servers. We can select this one here. The same thing they are doing as well, if I'm not wrong. Right, selecting the mid server, run the discovery and debugging, right? So if I go to run the discovery, okay, someone raise hand. Yeah, please.
Yeah, Jay.
Yes, Abhishek.
So in case of this alert closer or the event closer which you are doing in real time, it is happening automatically, right? Or
Yeah.
event.
Yes.
Okay, so in real time, what is the use of this dynamic CI grouping?
So dynamic CI grouping is nothing. It's just a group for the particular type of CIs, right? Now, let me tell you an example. You are a owner of 100 CIs, okay, or 100 servers. Okay, now you want to see, is there any impact running or is there any incident or alert is running on my CIs, right? You are responsible for that, and those CIs might be possible not part of any business service or application service. For your view, for your interest, you want to observe the all CIs. Getting my point? So you can create a dynamic CI grouping based on the condition of operational status, location, or any specific things which you want to be do that. So you can come here on the service operation workspace and you can observe your those particular things. If any event and alert is coming here, replicating here, you can understand there is some issue running on this particular CI which we need to be fix it, because end of the day you and your team is owner of those particular CIs, and that might be the CIs is serving some different things in their that particular organization, but which don't have a major impact, but you have to take a responsibility to resolve it basically, right? So
Okay.
that's the basic, it's not that much use here, but it just a for visualization to the specific stakeholders. Like I'm owning on the database team. I just want to look for my databases, right? Which is owned by me. That can be possibility. The database owned by different stakeholders and lots of databases are there, but I don't want to look for all. My responsibility is I can own it. I can see my databases only, right? Or that again, as I mentioned, that can be part of a service map or that cannot be part of a service map. If my database is part of this particular service maps, automatically two service map is going to be impacted. One is my database and one is your now portal. If any database I put it a condition is part of this one, right? So I can understand my database is impacting this one as well. And this is a business critical application. So we have to be acted immediately on this.
Okay, so as a prerequisite, we can say that service mapping should be in place for event management.
That's not true. But the thing is, if we want the actual output or if we want to see the value of the event management, the service mapping is required.
Okay, because Ajay, why I'm asking, because in our case, what is happening? All the applications are related to CIS from service option table. We are not using business service table.
Right. Okay.
And those relationship which we have done for service option to CI has been done manually.
So you are using the application table instead of business application.
Right.
That's not the correct. That is not correct, because application table is in ServiceNow is not a generic or manual application table, right? It's not a logical component. The application table CMDB CI APPL is that table which application running on a server and discovered by the discovery, right? So that's wrong. Basically, you have to be create the application in CMDB CI business application table, and then you have a relationship with application servers or the database or the applications, or whatever it is. That's wrong. Basically, it's manual. We earlier we also did the same thing. Whenever when the business application table is not introduced, I think 6-7 years back.
Okay. The problem was that in this service option table, we are having some custom fields like finance related, costing related fields, which are not present on the business application table. So that is the reason why we haven't used the business application table.
But that case, no? You can create that particular fields as well on the business application table.
Okay, and those will be managed manually because discovery will not get all those fields, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Because end of the financial things and other things will not be, and business application is not going to be discovered. End of the day, business application is a logical component, right? It's my choice, but I need to put the name of my application in my organization, right?
Okay.
I think the simple, simple thing is might be in my organizations. I'm telling the chat application is Teams basically, right? So I'm straightforward in saying that is the team application. But in your side, most of that users are saying it's a chat application. It's not a team. Right? So it just a how we are or what logical name we want to give it.
So if it's a logical name and we are doing a top to bottom application discovery, and in top to bottom application discovery or endpoint based discovery service mapping, we are getting all the details like application name, the database, web server,
Right,
and
right.
everything. Which
We are getting based on the entry point.
yeah.
Whatever entry point we are putting, based on that, we are getting the relationships with application database and other things. Right.
So all those infra components which are getting under service mapping top to bottom approach, it's not mandatory like all are registered in CMDB.
No, this is
Okay.
not. That should be part of the CMDB, and that should be discovered by ServiceNow. If it is coming through the any manual way or third-party integrations, ServiceNow is not entertaining in the service mapping.
Okay.
Okay. I heard some news. I'm not sure because that thing is going to be changed very soon in the service mapping side, but not yet.
Okay.
Okay, so service mapping are also going to be allow party or any other CIS which is coming from the different ways. They are going to be allowed to do it in service mapping as well. But as of now, only the discovered CIS and which is discovered through the service now only that can be part of the application service.
Okay. I got it, Ajay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where we are just seeing this one, this particular discovery one, right? So there is one discovery status. It is right. Debugging. You can see 3 discovery logs to ECCQ. So whatever you are able to see, this you are able to see here as well. So it's just a okay. It's discovery completed. Click in the CI column and open the CMDB record. Here is discovery 2-3 minutes. The discovery is completed. 51, 13, 185. But discovery is completed here, but not in my case, right? So
Yeah, I think you have used the wrong IP.
I got it now. I got it right. So that's the IP basically, right? So but basically it's just not the thing here. What they are trying to do, they are trying to uh, run the discovery on a particular CI, trying to get the MAC address, and based on the MAC address, they are trying to populate a alert, or they want to bind a CI. Basically, that's the use case here. As I mentioned, if you remember, out of the box, there are 4 fields. Based on that, CI binding will be happen. Anyone remember what are the 4 fields? No, I think that's not the good. Anyone remember the 4 fields based on that out of the box CI binding will be happening? I mentioned on the Friday.
Serial number, name.
No, it's not serial number. Let me tell you. Remember it. Node, IP address, FQDN, and MAC address. So the simple thing is, if you see here, example, this is my node which I am getting. It's a node name. If I put the IP address of this one, that also going to be mapped with the same CI. Okay, if I put the MAC address instead of node here, node value, but if I just put the node of this MAC address of this particular CI, that also going to be mapped with the same CI. If I use the FQDN, that is also going to be mapped with the same CI. Like if you see, just if I go here, see, so now this is mapped with this particular one, right? If I just open, if you see, this is mapped with this one, right? So let me open one moment quickly. I can showcase you this one.
Ajay.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Ajay, I have a doubt over here, Ajay. Actually, we are facing the same kind of an issue. So can you go to that event, Ajay?
Yes, just one moment.
Yeah, sure.
I am here, yeah, on the event.
Based on the node value and the CI is reflecting, right?
Yes.
So the problem is here, we are loading the data from the directories, SGO directories. Okay, and that has been creating event and event to be alerts. In the alert, the CI value will be presented. There I'm not able to map that node value into the CI value. Do you need to create separate any business rule before doing that?
Now, that's why I'm saying, now let me tell you,
Yep.
brother, basically there are two things. First thing is that particular CI, like, I'm looking for this one. Okay. That should be part of my CMDB. Okay? Second thing is, what is the binding rule we are using here? So I also mentioned last time, but if I just quickly tell you the event rule, let me showcase you. I'm just, yesterday created some PSS script event rule. Okay. Transform and yeah, sorry, it's binding here. So I mentioned the 4 fields: CI name, FQD, and IP address and MAC address of those particular CI. Then out of the box, the binding will be happening to the CMDB CI hardware table. This is one important point. If Dynatrace is monitoring any type of server, any type of network device, any type of computer, which is part of CMDB CI hardware table, okay, then if you are passing that information in the node, and if it is available on the CMDB based on these 4 fields, that will be mapped as a configuration item field on the alert. But if it is not part of the CMDB CI hardware table, that will not going to be mapped. Example, applications. Example, database. So if it's a database node or it's application node or it's something else, right, which is not extended by CMDB CI hardware table, will not be replicate as a configuration item field on the alert. So check what CI you are getting. That CI belongs to which class? Is that particular class part of the CMDB CI hardware? Or yeah, if it is yes, check the 4 attribute, what the CI name, FQD, and IP address and MAC address are there.
If not there, then is there any way to do that, Ajay?
You can write the override default binding.
Okay.
You can go here, you can select based on what you want to be do that identification or matching. If I think not able to complete in 5 minutes, but yeah, just quickly update you. If you are going with the CI identification, you can select the particular class here. It's database. Yes. Now identification, select an identifier based on the serial number you want to be, based on the whatever you want to be, right? So if it is serial number, select the node value because it's coming in the node as a serial number, right? If it is something different, you can do the name and type. You can put the name and the type, whatever the value is coming, and based on that, it's matching the CI and updating the node in a configuration item field on alert. Another way is CI field matching. Here, if you just need to be put whatever you want to be put the table again. If I just put application, you can select this one. Simple. Nothing else needs to do.
And but table is different, Ajay. But we are targeting this table, right?
Yes.
CMDBC underscore hardware table. But we are taking the data from the like servers, I think. So do we need any table also need to be mentioned over here, or we need to create a new event rule for that?
No, event rule will be created new.
Newly, okay.
So one event rule will be out of the box, which is using the hardware table and those particular field, and another event rule will be specific to your CI binding modifications.
Okay, got it.
Right, so it will be triggered based on the condition. So make sure you are putting the right condition here.
Okay.
In event filter. Okay.
Fine,
so,
fine.
But Ajay, even if those are servers which you are getting via monitoring tool, those can be mapped with the hardware class, right?
Right, but Mastan, I think need to be check it properly. That's I'm pretty sure if it is a server, that should be work without any issue. Or if it is a server, might be that possibility that is not available in the CMDB. That's why it's not mapping the configuration item field.
Okay.
So
Let me check, Ajay. I will check and I will update you tomorrow.
Let me know.
Yeah, because we are facing that issue. Even I written some business tool, to update, to set the value of those things based on the resources type. Resources we have a production and non-production is there, right?
Yep.
So based on the resource type, I was setting a value of the node as a node name as a CI name.
Okay. So I just check those particular things, and I think it will be resolved.
Sure, definitely, Ajay. Yeah, thank you.
Any other thing? I think we are over the time now. So if any last questions, I can take it and then we'll close.
Ajay, it's not from event, but I will put my questions on chat.
Yeah, sure. I think we'll check it.
Okay, thank you.
No issues. I think thank you guys. Have a good day. We'll connect tomorrow again and we'll proceed further on those things.
Thank you
Bye.
all.
Thanks, Ajay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ajay.
Bye.